Hello everyone, it's Crochet Kai. I'm back with another video and I'm just going to show you guys kind of like a basic how-to process on how I make my bear hoods. So this wouldn't be a pattern for a beginner or a tutorial for a beginner just because I'm not actually doing a real tutorial, but I am going to tell you basically what I'm doing along the way. Do you like my pimple patch? This is actually the first time I'm ever wearing one. I woke up this morning with like a pretty big pimple and it looked poppable. I popped it. It was one of those like unsatisfying pop ones and it needs to like marinate more, I guess. I don't know. I always get like a couple reoccurring pimples like around my period time. So that's what this one is. It's just like a hormonal one. But I'm here today to make a bear hood and show you guys kind of what I do, but not really in like a super tutorial format. I can do like a more sit down, you watch me crochet video, but I'm basically just going to tell you what I do step by step and while I'm facing the camera here. So for my bear hoods, I like to do either 2 strands of acrylic yarn or like a plush yarn. This time I'm going to do 2 strands of acrylic yarn. I want to make a more like neutral actual bear color. Ooh, I just got a text to confirm my appointment. I'm going to an allergist. If you don't personally know me, I deal with hives every day, so hopefully they can help me figure out why I get hives every day and what to do about it. So I'm doing like a variegated like multicolor yarn in different neutrals and then just plain brown, which my brown is, or I just frogged a piece, so that's why it's like all messy right now, so I'm gonna use it up. So you're gonna take your 2 yarns, I'm gonna make a magic ring. I use an 8mm hook. I like to use a big hook. Pull up a loop, chain 2. This is going to count as our first double crochet. And then I'm going to do 11 double crochets into the magic ring, so we'll have 12 total. So I just did my 11 double crochets plus my chain 2. So I'm going to grab my ends, pull that bad boy tight. Now I said the chain 2 counts as a double crochet, so we are going to find that top chain and make a double crochet into it. This next round, round 2, we're going to be doing 2 double crochets into every stitch. We're just kind of doing like a basic increase, but after you make that first double crochet, we're not doing any slip stitches or like chain 2, like it'll be a continuous round. So grab a stitch marker after you put in that first double crochet in that chain 2. You're gonna put a stitch marker in that stitch so that you know when your next round starts. So I'm gonna put 1 more double crochet into this top chain. And then I'm just gonna go around putting 2 double crochets in each stitch. Okay. So this is what it's looking like for me so far. I've done 2 in each stitch, back of my stitch marker. Now we're just gonna do 1 and 2. So we're gonna do a pattern. So in this first stitch, I'm gonna do 1 double crochet, next stitch we'll do 2, next we'll do 1, next we'll do 2, next we'll do 1, next we'll do 2, all the way around. Okay, so here we have round 2 finished. If you're a crocheter and you've done things in the round before, if you've made hats before, you know that there's kind of a pattern to this. So this next round we are going to do 1 double crochet in the first stitch, 1 double crochet in the second stitch, 2 double crochets in the third. And then you'll just keep repeating that pattern all the way around for round 3. Okay, so round 4 is done. For round 5, before we do it, I'm going to take another stitch marker and I'm going to count from the previous row where my 9th increase is so that I know where to stop for this next round. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the second stitch of my 9th increase from the previous round. All the increases happen like on top of each other. So for this next round, if you didn't want to do this now, you could have just done the increase pattern until you get to the 9th one and then put your stitch marker in. But this is just a little bit easier. And then I just go and recount after to make sure that I put it in the right place. But this just gives me a guide. So for this round, we are going to be doing 3 double crochets in between our increases. So we'll do in this first stitch 1 double crochet, second stitch another double crochet, third stitch another double crochet, and then the fourth stitch you'll do 2 double crochets, and you'll continue that pattern all the way around until you reached your 9th increase. For the rest of the round, till you get back to the beginning, you'll just do half double crochets. We'll start with our first double crochet, start off the round. I'm going to put my stitch marker back in to mark the beginning of the round. Okay. So then we're going to do our second double crochet, third double crochet in the next stitch, and then our fourth double crochet will be an increase. Boom. Okay, and that's 1. So we're going to do that 9 times. Okay, so I just finished my 9th increase, and I'm going to put a stitch marker in that last stitch. Boom. I believe that the number of stitches from all the increases and stuff should equal out to 45 if you want to count. And then I have 12 stitches here left over, and all those 12 stitches are just going to be normal, no increase, half double crochets. And remember, keep your stitch marker in here because that's going to be important for later on. This is sort of just kind of going to create a flat edge for the back neck part of the hood. So now I'm back to the beginning. Now is where the time you're going to get your tape measure out. So concept-wise, if you were using a different type of yarn, I would still do everything the same up to this point, and then I would measure. So my circle is measure across. So right now we're at like a 7.5 inches. I want to be at more so like 8 or 8.5. So I'm going to do 1 more row. If I was using more plush yarn, I might already be at the 8.5, and that's fine. You'll just wait until I'm at 8.5, then I'll tell you what to do next. Or vice versa on the other side, if you're using a thinner yarn or just like 1 strand of acrylic or something, your circle is probably going to be smaller, and therefore you'll just have to keep doing the increases and this pattern until you reach 8.5. So for this next round, since the previous one we did 3 double crochets and an increase, we're going to do 4 double crochets and an increase all the way until a stitch marker, and then half double crochets to the beginning, and you'll just keep repeating that. So you'll just continue that pattern basically until you get your circle to be the length of 8 inches to 8.5 inches. Even if it's a little bigger, if it's 9, that's fine, but just in that range. So for me, I'm probably only going to have to do 1 more row, so I'm going to get my length to about 8 to 8.5 inches, and I'll meet you guys back to tell you what to do next. I just did another round, and I've reached about 8.5 to 9 inches, which is a little bit big, but it's okay. Now I'm basically just going to do regular double crochets, starting at this stitch marker. Make sure you put it back in. And you're going to go all the way around to the other stitch marker, stop, chain 2, go back around, and we're basically just going to keep doing like this half circle to build out the front. What we have right now, like this is the base and like the back portion of the hood. And then now we're just going to be building it out until it can cover our front. Hello, just doing a little bit of a check-in to show you guys what your hood should be looking like if you are sort of following along or giving it a try yourself. So like I said, we want to keep those stitch markers in here, and we're just building up the sides, leaving that little middle section alone. If you're confused and you're like, what the fuck? Just remember that this is for like the back of the neck, and the beginning of your spiral goes on the base of your head. Like, it's not the back of your head. If I was going to try it on for sizing, I would do it like this. So I need a couple more rows still. Honestly, maybe only like one more row, maybe 2. We'll see. And I'm 100% looking at myself and have been throughout this whole video. I really can't help it, but sorry if that bugs you, I guess. I try to look you in the eyes whenever I can, but a girl's gotta know what she looks like. Here's the back view. I need a couple more rows and then I'll show you guys what we're supposed to do after that. But basically, I'll just kind of tell you right now, I guess. Once you get the amount of rows that you want, you're going to be down on one of these ends, and you're going to do between probably like 10 to 20 chains. I like to try it on. Usually 15 is pretty good. Sometimes just like depending on the kind of yarn that you're using, you're going to need a little bit more, a little bit less. But that's just the connect the bottom part. So you'll make a chain, connect it here, and then we'll just be building out the round in the bottom to make a little like neck portion. Okay, so I ended up doing 2 more rows, so this is what we're looking at. It's kind of at like right at the top of my forehead. I don't like to do it too much just because I know that I'm going to be adding a fur border around. Now I am going to do a chain of probably 15, I think. We can do this part together. This is super easy. Let's chain 15, see how it fits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Then I am just going to take my other end and I'm going to slip stitch the chain to it. Then I'm going to chain 2. And now I'm just going to try it on real quick. I kind of like for these to make it kind of like straight. So it's not like super pull in tight, but it's also not like super big, wide, loose. I think 15 is good. I'm just going to go for it. So now I'm just going to double crochet around all of this, go over the chain, slip stitch, chain 2, go around. I'll probably do maybe like 3 rounds for the base. And then again, I just try on as I go, and then go for whatever kind of fit I like. We're going to take a little bit of a break just because within the last like 30 minutes, I've like, for some reason, started to like not feel great. Like my throat kind of hurts. Obviously I'm a chronic crocheter, so you know for a fact that I am forgetting to hydrate. So my birthday was like last week too, so one of my friends got me these immunity shots. Ooh, and it's ginger and turmeric, so this is gonna kick my ass. Literally, I took my first like immunity shot with her, which is actually kind of funny because then we went on a work cruise together and we had to stay in like the tiniest fucking little cabin, and we didn't know each other very well, so it was a very good bonding experience for us, and now we're really close, so it's cute. I'm actually, this is gonna kill me. Ginger root, turmeric root, enhanced root and flour, and black pepper. Jeez. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, is it bad if I'm gonna give myself a water chaser for this? This is gonna be awful. Okay, cheers. Okay, wait. Okay. That wasn't awful, and I almost finished the whole thing. It's like so close. So we're just gonna do it. Knock it out. Oh, that was the worst of it. For sure. Okay. Whew. Okay. If this is helpful, I'll measure out how long my chain is. I know if I was watching this, I'd be like, what the fuck is the measurement, bitch? I will give you guys a measurement. Like 5 inches. So my chain is like 5 inches. I'm gonna do probably 2 or 3 rounds and then I'll come back, but this is basically all you have to do. And then you can make the ears. I do have a tutorial on how I make my ears for these hoods specifically. So I have a bear tutorial that I can link as well in the description if you want to know how I make mine. Other than that, you can do like the bunny ears or I don't know, anything else. Or no ears if you don't even want ears. But the ears make it really cute and it like really pulls it together. Okay, so the hood is officially done. I have not cut my end off yet just because I want to try it on one more time. But this is basically what this bitch looks like. Perfect. It's a hood. Now let's just finish this off. I still have to decide which yarn I'm going to use because I have this kind of like tan and black color, but I don't have very much of it, but I think I have enough. I also have this like white, this is not white, tan. I have this tan colored kind of yarn, so I feel like I might want to go with the darker border. I just feel like it might look a little bit better. And then I can also use this up. I feel like this yarn will also be good for like lighter colors. Like I feel like if I did that yarn and a white instead of a black, then this might work a little bit better. So if you have any suggestions down in the comments of like different color combos for the hoods and stuff, let me know, because I'm working to thin my stash and make some cash. That's going to be the name of the new series that I'm working on, starting off with an event that I have in about like 2 weeks. I'm making it a point to not buy anything for this event and use what I have, because I literally have like 3 big plastic bins of yarn, and a lot of it is acrylic from when I first started crocheting. I decided to buy a lot of it, and it sits there and it doesn't get touched, so I'm trying to thin my stash through this, and then whatever I don't sell at my event, I'll sell on Etsy, and we'll see kind of how it does on my website there, and then hopefully I can keep making hoods and hats until my stash is thinned. But yeah, subscribe if you want to follow along, see how much money I can make just from using the yarn from my own stash to make these hats and hoods. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here his. If you want to know how I make my ears, I'll put the link in the description to the video. I do have a tutorial for them, but isn't it so cute? I'm obsessed with these bear hoods. Comment down below if you have any like questions. I know this wasn't like an actual tutorial, but I hope it made sense anyways, just sort of the process, I guess. Subscribe, comment if you have any ideas what I should do, and look out for my Thin the Stash, Save Some Cash series. Okay, bye!